September 10th is World Suicide Prevention Day. Joining me now are the co-chairs of the Suicide Prevention Coalition Working Group, Angele and Roxanne. Welcome to the show.
Hello,
Thank
Gabriel.
you.
All right, so Angele, let's start and talk about, first off, the background and what exactly World Suicide Prevention Day is and what's happening this year.
Well, perhaps people aren't aware that suicide prevention remains a universal challenge. Every year, suicide is among the 20 leading causes of death globally, and that accounts for people of all ages. So the International Association for Suicide Prevention recognizes September 10th as World Suicide Prevention Day, and this really provides an opportunity for people across the globe to raise awareness not only of suicide, but of suicide prevention. So this year's theme is working together to prevent suicide. And it's really about recognizing that we all have a role to play and it only takes a minute. And what I mean by that is take a minute to notice what's going on with you, your friends, your colleagues, your neighbors. Take a minute to start a conversation about what you're noticing. Take a minute to research what resources are available right here in your community. And you can find all that information on our Suicide Prevention Coalition website, reachoutnow.ca.
Excellent. And Roxanne, as I alluded to at the beginning, locally we do have the Suicide Prevention Coalition. So can you tell me a little bit more about the coalition and what you do?
Sure. So the Suicide Prevention Coalition of Champlain East is a partnership of individuals and organizations throughout SDG, Prescott Russell, and Akwesasne. And we work together to develop strategies to prevent suicide in our community. So we focus on three main areas. We have a suicide prevention working group, which is the working group that Angele and I are part of. And we also have an intervention working group that focuses on different intervention strategies in suicide prevention, as well as a post-vention working group, which focuses on supporting people who have been affected by suicide.
All right, and Angele, CMHA will be offering some free training, suicide prevention training. Can you tell me about that?
Yeah, so in recognition of World Suicide Prevention Day, both CMHA Champlain East as well as our Suicide Prevention Coalition wants to offer complimentary training, certified training by Living Works. It's called a Living Works Start. And this is a 1-hour online training for anyone 13 years of age and older who'd like to build skills on recognizing suicide and how to connect to help. So to access this free training, on World Suicide Prevention Day, you can contact Angela Warren, Manager of Mental Health Promotion, at 613-933-5845. Her extension is 282, or you can email her directly, and I believe you'll be putting up her contact information. And it's a great program. It's very user-friendly and provides excellent skills. And I'd like to even point out that you don't have to have any formal training to participate. We encourage everyone and anyone to take part in this free training. And it's a limited time only. It's in recognition of World Suicide Prevention Day.
Excellent. So hopefully viewers will take advantage of that. Now, Roxanne, you've been seeking nominations as well for local organizations who have been working to help prevent suicide. Can you tell me about that?
Yes, so Living Works, they are the ones who developed the trainings that Angele was talking about. And they also provide certificates of recognition for individuals or organizations who have been promoting suicide prevention efforts in the community. So we have been accepting nominations, and I believe we have at least 5 nominations this year. So we will be recognizing either an individual or an organization in our community who has been doing outstanding work in suicide prevention.
Excellent. And before we get to kind of final thoughts and remarks, I do want to touch on the reach out portion of this because, as you alluded to, Angele, in your first answer, reaching out is probably the most pivotal thing that people can do, and it's not necessarily always the person that's contemplating suicide reaching out. It's for everyday people to notice the signs and reach out. So maybe just touch briefly on the importance of that, of taking the time to reach out.
Well, you know what? 8 in 10 people will show signs. So it's not that someone isn't trying to reach out. They're trying to tell you the best way they can, but they typically do so in ways where they show in the way they're thinking, the way they're verbally, the way they're communicating. No one really directly says, I am thinking about suicide, but you can recognize it in their physical, their emotional, their way of thinking. And that's where this Living Work Start training teaches you to recognize those signs, so that exactly what you said, Gabriel, is that you can reach out and say, I have noticed this change in you. Are you okay? Do you want to talk? And that's where that conversation gets started, and you can connect people to the support that they need. And there are supports in our community that can help people with thoughts of suicide. I know that we didn't mention this earlier, but there is a 1-800 crisis line for mental health. So I hope that you'll put that on the screen. And if anyone is concerned about their own well-being or the well-being of someone else, please reach out to that number 24 hours a day.
Absolutely. If there's anything we could take away from this, it's certainly that. And so, Angele, final thoughts?
Well, on behalf of the Suicide Prevention Coalition, we want to invite you watching to participate in this very important conversation, not only on World Suicide Prevention Day, which is September 10th, but every day. And again, reminding you that things you can do to prevent suicide is take part in this free online training that's being offered by your Suicide Prevention Coalition and CMHA. On September 10th, CMHA Champlain East's Facebook page will be posting several information posts on suicide prevention that can be shareable on your own page, your own wall. And again, reminding people to use our Reach Out Now website, because there's tons of information and resources for people to access.
Excellent. Well, I'd like to thank you both for joining me and for all your hard work, as well as the whole Suicide Prevention Coalition for the important work you're doing, not just for Suicide Prevention Day, but all year round. But I'd like to thank you for joining me, and stay tuned. We will be hearing later in the show from individuals who have lived experience as well. So, but on that note, thank you very much.
Thank you, Gabriel.